Hello, class. I have this video for you to help you with the final paper. Now, let me first share the screen and go over what is it that we need to take care of. Okay. So let's see if I can share that. I hope I will be able to share it. Yeah, here it is. Now this is, I guess this is, okay. Two things I would like you to pay attention to: the prompts and the rubrics in the waypoint page, on the waypoint page. So now let's first check what is needed for this paper. It's very important that we break down, not only for the final paper, for any assignment we do, that we break down the prompts and understand exactly what they ask for. So this paper has two parts. The first part of the final paper, you have, first of all, analyze the article, discourse. It can be anything, any genre. You will analyze it using 4 concepts or theories of discourse analysis. Here, the prompt gave you lexical grammar, which means parts of speech and so on and so forth, Grice's maxims, intertextuality, prior texts, and so on. I have in the announcement section uploaded, most probably during week 3, a document by the name of Theories of Discourse Analysis. I can share it with you now. Let me see if I can have it. I have it on my system. We can go over it, and you will see that it actually sums all the concepts and theories that we have covered in this discourse. So let's see what we have. Now, it will depend on the article or the discourse that you have chosen and its topic and how you would like to analyze it. Some political topics are actually good candidates for critical discourse analysis. Okay, so let's see here, and I'll share with you, theories in discourse analysis. Okay. You'll find this document in the announcement section, and it's uploaded during week 3. Okay, first of all, let me, how I can, okay, just a second, I will have to stop share and have this open again. Now, where is it? Okay, here it is, but why don't I want to see it small. Okay, here it is. So let's see, share again. Okay. Okay, so here is my document, and it is to be found in the announcements section. and I said that scan it for week 3 and read it thoroughly for the final paper, because here all the concepts and theories that we have covered, and you choose 4. So there are Grice's maxims, okay, and all the maxims are here. There is solidarity, power and solidarity, so you can discuss the article if it's of a political nature, sociological nature, depending on the topic. When it comes to the topic, you choose the topic. I know that the prompts say about social change and things like that. But if you're not into politics and you would not like to write, to analyze a discourse text on politics, you can choose the topic you want. You can talk about social aspects in terms of solidarity, symmetrical relationship or asymmetrical relationship, dominance, and so on. Okay, so in here you have what factors determine power or solidarity in a discourse. So for instance, these things, they don't really, these points, they don't really, they're not only limited to political subjects and topics, they can be generalized to others, you know, other topics, other human-to-human relationship and communication topics, okay? And then you have indexicality. This is another concept that you can analyze the discourse by, for instance, you can check the linguistic aspect, and it says here, linguistic aspect, and or you can check the sociolinguistic aspect when language is used for some marking of belonging to a social group or a speech community, okay? And then you have more about indexicality, okay? If you want to choose indexicality. And lexical grammar, parts of speech, the power of the word in conveying the message and its tone, what the structure, for instance, how is that word used? Was it used in a verb shape or a noun shape, and analyze it, and it's something along the lines of discussion 1 of week 1, the discussion post of the Marine, and even the assignment where you analyze the discourse for parts of speech and for certain verbs, nouns. You apply the same thing, so if this is what you want to do. Stance also can be related to critical discourse analysis. It can also be generalized to any other topic. And it's one of those, okay, concepts and theories. And then you have politeness theory. If it's a conversation, even in speeches, and some of you very nicely analyze some speeches using politeness theory. And in politeness theory, you have two authors. So you choose one of them or you choose both, it's up to you. But when you choose anything related to a concept or a theory established by a scholar, you need to cite that scholar. You need to cite the name, and you need to cite the date. Over here, I have not, but you need to cite the date as well. Okay. Okay, for instance, here I cited the date for Lakoffs. You have also critical discourse analysis. these are things you look into when you are checking or analyzing the discourse for critical discourse analysis. Okay, for the conversations, you can use, again, if the conversation is about a political issue, a social issue, an issue that has relation to the society at large, you can have the conversations to be analyzed, or you can analyze reports. And these are the questions in critical discourse analysis. What are the things that what are the things in perspective, or what are the points we ask or we look at? And all these are points related to discourse analysis and the things that we can look at in discourse to find. Okay, and then you have intertextualities. I summed it from your book, the textbook, and it's page 14. That everybody, when I speak, when I say, when I write, there is some influence of prior texts, and it tells you how these prior texts influence each other. Okay, how it's done is a direct repetition. So for instance, if the author has used intertextuality, was it direct citation, direct quote? Is it a paraphrase? And there are certain linguistic structures used to show intertextuality. You have also recontextualization. When it comes to genre, genre is not a theory, is a concept. And as we found out in discussion of week 4, discussion 1, in week 4, we found that the topic can be discussed from 2 different genres. For instance, if you take the one on work and passion for work, we have 2 different genres. We analyzed one, we analyzed a written one, and not only written in a newspaper. No, it's even electronically mediated, which means it's because it's a blog. So because when it's electronically mediated, there are certain things that are apparent. And distinctive of electronically or digitally mediated discourse. So we have again, going back to week 1 discussion, we analyzed the same topic from 2 different genres, blog and speech. We analyzed the language. We analyzed the frames, the script, because each one, if it's the frame of a blog is not the same frame of a speech. So genre can be, you can talk about genre if genre is something that you're interested in and you want to discuss the paper from that point of view, you can do that. And then you have also about frames and plots. What is framing and ways of framing, and so on. You can also discuss whether the speech is planned or unplanned, fixed or fluid. And again, this is very useful if you are analyzing a digitally mediated discourse, like tweets, and because sometimes, for instance, they're fluid, and they're fluid because there is a lot of hyperlinks and there is visual elements used there. How they're coherent, you can discuss that. So again, some of the concepts. Again, here, I'm explaining to you the difference between planned and unplanned discourse and their structural features. These are all structural features that you can find in planned, because unplanned is more spontaneous. And when it's spontaneous, like speaking and so on, unless it's a speech, because a speech is previously written and prepared. But if you're speaking about something, there's a conversation or something like that, the talk is often unplanned and may not have these complex, sophisticated structures. Again, here, I'm explaining what is meant by fixity, coherence, and fluidity. And then also interpersonal involvement, situational register, or registerment. So this document is very important. It will give you an idea, or it sums, or it will show you which concepts you applicable to your piece of to your text, your discourse, and it will help a lot. So as I said, we go over. Now let me see. We go over. Can I share this? What I'm going to share now? I want to stop share. Now this is. I hope when I'm sharing it shows, but yeah, here it is. Good, it shows. So you analyze it, you use 4. Okay, make sure it's 4. And then you will use the language, you will check the language, you will analyze the language, check it if it's persuasive, offensive, effective, ineffective, to convey a particular social message or agenda. And when you're answering such a question, if you just say, yes, it is effective, that's not enough. You need to give me examples why you think it's effective. You need to explain why you think it's effective. And it's always very good to give concrete examples, extracting certain elements, certain words, certain phrases, certain sentences. Don't make it too long, okay? Don't quote the whole thing. Just extract what helps your point of view. And then locate 2 other discourse samples about the same topic. Discourse samples can be any kind, any genre, but they're talking about the same topic. It can be a tweet, for instance. Yeah. So you're going to locate these 2. As we said here, yeah, they can be anything. That they don't have to be of the same genre. You will compare the arguments and language used in the additional excerpts to your chosen text, drawing upon concepts and theories of discourse analysis outlined in the course. I would like you to check you can use other concepts if the concepts that you have already used for the original discourse do not really help you. But if they already help you, stick to them. So you have a choice, either to involve other theories and concepts or stick to the ones that you already have. Assess how the 3 discourse samples shape and are shaped by ideologies of power, control, injustice, inequality, social change, and emancipation. This is very important, like emancipation, inequality, injustice. They're very much related to the critical discourse analysis. So if you have chosen a piece that is related and can be analyzed through critical discourse analysis theory, then you look into these things. But if you are not checking something that is related to discourse theory, power, we saw that power can be demonstrated through language. In week 2, when your assignment was to check the conversations between participants, you were asked to check for power, and power can be manifested through language, through what language is used, body language, contextual cues. Contextual cues means words, tone of voice, prosody, and so on. It shows a lot. It shows a lot about power. Power and control is almost the same. You can also discuss it if it's not related to discourse, critical discourse analysis. You can discuss it through symmetry, asymmetry, solidarity, and so on. Okay, so it does not, I mean, it depends on your topic. So if your topic does not talk about social change, you don't have to use social change. But you can talk about other linguistic aspects like power, solidarity, symmetry, asymmetry, participants' roles, and so on. I expect that. Okay, you need to incorporate 3 credible sources in addition to the course textbook and the 3 discourse samples into your discussion. Okay, now when it comes to part 2, you will create a blog post, a Facebook post, series of tweets. It needs to be of a certain length, okay? Or an infographic that responds to the topic discussed in your chosen text. You may choose to agree with the views expressed in the chosen text, disagree with them, or merely address the issue in a new way. This social media post is a make-believe. It doesn't mean that you have already had one and you're copying it. No, it's a hypothetical situation. What if you're given the situation or the opportunity to write about this on social media? What will you write? Okay, if you choose to create a blog post, the Writing Center resource Writing a Blog Post can assist you. If you choose to create an infographic, visit Canva. Canva is a very good way of creating infographics for access to a free online site that will assist you in creating the graphic. And watch these 2 tutorials on how to use Canva. Now, in your post, you will assess the effectiveness of your discourse, referring to at least 2 concepts or theories discussed in the course. It can be the theories, again, it can be the theories that you have already used and analyzed the 3 samples of discourse in part 1, or it can be other theories. But of course, you will need to mention them, cite the authors, and so on. Evaluate how your discourse responds to the existing discourses of contemporary institutions and ideologies. Again, this is related to critical discourse analysis. if your paper's topic is not related to critical discourse analysis concepts, compare your post to what has already come in the other 3 samples. Okay, it needs to be 10 doubled spaced pages. This is very important, where the first page, and this tells you how you should be writing it. Okay. Now, the other thing that I would like to discuss with you is the importance of the rubrics in grading. Okay, sorry, Rosemary, I have not, Rosemaria Cruz, I have not graded anything, but this is the only, you're the only person who submitted the paper. I'll start grading tomorrow. Now, if you look at the rubrics, now, and the rubrics tells exactly the criteria with which not only me, all instructors at University of Arizona Global Campus Institute grade by and grade with. Okay, so for instance, analyzes the chosen discourse using 4 concepts or theories of discourse analysis. So if they're not 4, then you're lacking. So make sure that they're 4. And these are distinguished, proficient, below, non-performance. Assesses how language is used persuasively. So all the prompts that are in the instruction of the assignment are actually broken down to these rubrics, and each one is evaluated based on what comes in the paper. If it's distinguished, that means comprehensively and clearly assesses how language is used persuasively, offensively, so on and so forth. So make sure that all the prompts here are answered in the paper. So not only the prompts that are in the instructions, no, it's actually here. The instructions give you a global idea. These are the details that you must look into and make sure that you have them. Locates 2 additional discourses about the same topic. Compares the arguments, the language used in the additional experts to the context, drawing upon concepts and theories of discourse analysis. As I said, the 4 theories that you have already used for the original discourse can be reused again. If not all of them apply, then you can draw upon concepts and theories that are in the book. And then assesses how the 3 discourse samples shape and are shaped by ideologies of power, control, injustice, inequality, social change, and emancipation. Again, if the paper's topic is not doesn't render itself easily to be discussed in terms of discourse, critical discourse analysis, there are certain things that are sociolinguistics, like solidarity, power, and so on. Go to the document that you have, theories of discourse analysis, and choose the ones that have the sociolinguistic component to them and discuss it from that point of view. And then this is part 2. You create a post, a blog, a post, and so on. And what you are going, creates a blog, Facebook. Now, what's the distinguished? Thoroughly, clearly, and accurately creates a blog post, Facebook. series of tweets, or infographic that corresponds to the topic discussed in the chosen text. So just the creation will get you a mark. Assesses the effectiveness of the created discourse, referring to at least two concepts or theories discussed in the course. Again, you can use the same for two of the four that you already have used for discussing and analyzing the original piece and the other extra discourses, or you can use two other from the course. Evaluates how the created discourse responds to the existing discourses of contemporary institutes and ideologies. Okay, again, this is very much related to critical discourse analysis, and not every one of us is dealing with a topic that is that renders itself easily to this critical discourse analysis. So what we do, what we can do now is that you compare yours to the ones that are already in the paper, or you compare yours to other posts that have already the post that, and intertextuality comes into play here, that post that you may have read before, influenced yours, so on. Okay, critical thinking. Okay, it's very important. You put into the paper your prior knowledge about all of you have excellent insights and your prior knowledge and background, and this is very important. And when you are writing about assumptions and claims, or citing about other people's work, it shows if you are questioning and giving explanations and illustrations and so on, or if you're just, copying what the others are saying. So critical thinking is very important. Same thing again. So critical thinking is evaluated twice. Okay. Your written communication, okay, here, content, all of the above is about content. Now this one is format. And if the format is not done in a way that conveys the ideas of the paper easily to the reader, of course, points are lost. So make sure syntax is correct, word order, grammar is correct, and make sure that there are not many typos that can deter the reader, and the fluidity of the piece and the mechanics. And this is an academic paper. It's not an essay, it's an academic paper, which means that help the reader, situate the reader with a good introduction, help the reading with the flow of the piece, and the coherence of the piece, the flow and the coherence. And we attain these two by headers, subheaders, how the one section is developed into paragraphs. Each paragraph speaks about speaks about a point, and then you have details illustrating that important point. And that's why it's very important that you have done week 3 assignment, which is the outline, because in the outline it helps with the coherence and the fluidity and the flowness of the paper when you have the 5 sentence topics and so on. Now, APA is not only the introduction, it's not, the first page where you have your name, your title, or the last page where you have the references. APA also is citing. you need to cite inside of the text. And references that are on the reference page that are not cited in the text are not considered references. Make sure that everything cited in the text has its reference on the reference page, and everything that is on the reference page is being cited in the text. This is very important. Page requirement, it says 10 pages. Yeah, if you need to have 10 pages. Formatted accurately, double spaced. Make sure that you do that. And the font type, make sure that it, you know, it abides by the instructions and the instructions and what is asked of us. Written communication, that means resource requirement. It says 3 plus our textbook. If you have more, even better. But if you have less, it will show that it's does not meet the requirement. Okay, so this is what I wanted to clarify about the final paper. I wish you all the best. I look forward to reading all your papers. I've enjoyed your papers, reading your papers throughout these weeks, and they were very interesting and full of insights. And I look forward to really you putting everything together in the final paper. You've come a long way from the first week, and it's really when I read a paper that I can see the progress from week 1 to week 5, and I see how things formulated and formed into one thing, one entity, one whole, you know, argument in paper is my reward. So I wish you all the luck. And till tomorrow, if you have any questions, please do, or till the day that you start writing the paper. Feel free to contact me and ask me questions. Best of luck. I enjoyed interacting with you and teaching you. And in fact, I learned a lot from your insights. Best of luck, not only in this paper, in the final paper of this course, best of luck in all of your courses. Goodbye now.